Drop this shit. Swole fam, y'all better run this up. KD, let's go. Yeah. Aye, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, yeah. You know we don't play guys. I'm blessed, I never said I didn't struggle. I finesse, I never said I didn't hustle. These niggas talk so loud, the way I move is subtle. I'm the ocean, but these niggas just a puddle. Ay, oh, I swear I'm delusional. These niggas they using me. They want my energy, ain't nothing new, this is usual. These figures confusing me. What's gotten into me? They say I'm using their cubicles. Clipping KD like some cuticles. None of this shit is excusable. Don't need a muse when I'm musical. Ay, whoa, I'm tired of saying for truth when nobody's doing it. Yeah, they're controlling the youth. Agenda of fusing them, nigga. We losing them. Matter of fact, we just abusing them. That's a fact. We try to roll with a ballad act. Fucking low key with a Tesseract. They throwing smoke when they got it. Get the fuck up out your little bubble. They wanna ask how much it costs, I said it double. Gorilla beer, these niggas only rockin' stubble. The realest nigga make these bitches start to stumble. Aye, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play guys, yeah.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Hi everyone!
What's up, bro?
I don't think I've done like a general introduction yet as to who I am, so I thought I would do that now.
I can't stand stupidity. If you're gonna say stupid shit.
Hi, my name is Bunny and I use bun pronouns.
What is your problem, man?
I am a gender fluid, trans, femme, pan-romantic, great ace, white passing Japanese person.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Woolwormouth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 25 Hundo and 49 of the Daily Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustles, and yo-hoos? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. Today's episode of the Beescast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everson K2, flexing on all you bees.
Fucking Catalina.
Yow.
It's a fucking Catalina wine mixer.
the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
All right, what's going on, fam? Welcome to the show. Let me fix the hair. Let me get the beard all nice and right. We're looking good. Welcome, come one, come all. Saturday, April the 29th. Welcome to the show. And I hope you all love that intro. I love it. It's a classic. It's a throwback. Fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. Welcome to the show. We are fresh off an amazing overtime segment. Dropped a brand new Driving While Gaining Uncensored for the fam. It's available now in overtime. If you missed it, absolutely fire. Biden 2024, not alive no more.
Come on, man.
He's not alive now, but can you imagine? Of course, he announced recently, or someone announced, or his corpse, or body double, or triple, or quadruple announced that he's running again. He can barely walk, so that'll be interesting. And anyway, brand new Drive While Gaining. It was awesome. I hope that earworm, I hope that new song is absolutely destroying your brain. I hope it's destroying your brain. I hope it's in your head and you can't get it out until next week, until we drop another one next week. But anyway, for members, available now in Swole TV. Check out the brand new Driving While Gaining. And if you're driving and you're not gaining, then what are you actually fucking doing? Okay, let's get into today's show. Let's get into that tip. We got some awesome Swole Fam posts. Remember, you can learn more about joining the Swole Fam over at SwoleNormousX.com. Check all those links in the show notes down below. And let's get into today's Swole card. Here we go. Let's get the Falcon out. Falcon. Put some respect on it, fam. What'd you smash today? Drop in the comments down below. All right, hashtag Swole Slut for a chance to win today's Swole card. It is Swole Slut Saturday. Take a moment and hit the thumbs up button if you're watching on YouTube. It helps tremendously. Do not do a damn thing without hitting that like button. So take a moment and give that thumbs up a thumbs up right now. Tap it, everyone. Tap it. Oh, do it. Do it. Oh, that was nice. That was nice.
And that's the way, I like it. Casey on the sunshine band.
I felt it. I felt it. I really felt it. All right, fam, it's time to get into that tip. Let's get into some Swole Fam posts. Here we go. Babe, just an inch, just an inch. It's cold outside. You got to spit on it. Got to get it in there. All right, share the stream with your friends. If you know someone that needs some knowledge cock, just send them the podcast. Send them the podcast, slip it right in their ear holes, and let them embrace the man cast. Give them some man cast for their birthday. Just be like, hey, instead of a present, I got you something better. I got you a man cast. I got you a link right here. I got some knowledge cock for you. All right, we got a post here from Brenda. Brenda writes, just checking in from Charleston, South Carolina, Swole Fam, working a corporate event. Already stole fresh fruit from the gym for breakfast. Headed to a steak dinner now. Tried a cold shower since there are no heated pools or no pools here for a cold plunge. Not nearly as cold nor as satisfying as 58-degree water up to your neck. At least the gym is decent and the stairwells are unlocked so I don't have to be a lazy beach and take the elevator. P.S. Day drinkers abound. Some rich lady was making eyes at me. I think she bathed in bourbon. Ho.
Because stickers?
Hey, come on. Come on. Come on, Brenda. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. A rich bourbon lady. Ooh. Sounds like an evening that everyone would wish to forget. Chris writes, a little something different of a post tonight, fam. My third ever daddy/daughter dance, but the first one with my youngest daughter, Harley. Let me tell you, she wore me out Saturday night in so many ways. My heart went into an explosion of joy and love. Oh yeah, and my legs felt like I had another leg day at the end of the night. LOL. The reasons I do what I do for myself, all for them. Hashtag 7 pillars and fuck average. Excellent, Chris. Glad you had a good time. And our last post of the day is from Nicholas. Afternoon, fam. So I started my FEF a day early. Of course, yesterday was FEF. Every day is really FEF, but yesterday is our official FEF day. I have to pick up my daughters from school. Usually, I would wait in the car loop and watch YouTube. Today, I said fuck that and started to unfollow channels that were just time wasters. After I did that, I still had time, so I started on the masterclass section. There is so much quality content. I'm watching the rotator cuff video, and it's amazing. If you all have not checked it out, do yourselves a favor and go now. Why, thank you, Nicholas, and I highly recommend. I know when you join Swolenormous X, there's so much content for members. There's so many videos, there's so many sections, and of course, we're adding new stuff all the time, and it's 5, 6, 7 years of creating content that's all been organized and categorized, and it takes time to go through. But make sure, if you are that type of person that wants to educate themselves and that likes to go deeper into certain subjects, the masterclass section is where you need to go, especially for those of you that usually ask about hip mobility, ankle mobility, knee mobility. Make sure you go to the masterclass section. All right. If you want to join Nicholas, Chris, and of course, Brenda inside Swolenormous X, join us. Swolenormousx.com and check out all our programs. Check out everything that we have. The website breaks it all down. And of course, it will explain everything there. But we're adding new stuff all the time. We're adding new training content, new yoga classes, new recipes, a lot of stuff over there. And it'll break it all down. It'll give you a whole list, and you can scroll on the homepage and endlessly and see everything that we have. It's amazing. So go check us out and join us, Swolenormousx.com. We also have Ask Papa Swolio tomorrow. So if you have questions, we'll get into some questions right now. If you have questions, make sure you go to askpapaswolio.com and submit your question. Of course, we will get to more tomorrow. We're just taking pure questions, but right now we will take some questions live. Use the hashtag AskPapaSwolio. 1 second. Okay, let's get into. We'll take this call. We'll take this question. I didn't mean to scroll. C. Gomez, do you take protein? If so, what kind? I drink raw milk, raw dairy, and raw kefir, and I have raw yogurt. So that's where I get plenty of liquid forms of protein. Otherwise than that, I eat eggs and grass-fed beef and stuff. So I don't take a protein powder. Those are not necessary if you have enough protein in your nutrition, in your overall diet. So focus on those things first before you look for supplements. Scott, you're on the line.
Hi, Papa Swallow. I have a question for you. I'm
Papa
on
Swallow.
a plan for getting fit and diet plan combination. And, every day I'm weighing myself and I'm not seeing much change in the numbers, but I'm seeing change in my clothes. For example, like my pants size and the waist has gone down, etc. So my question is should I worry about those numbers so much, or should I just keep doing what I'm doing and focus on, seeing the results? Like, for example, not being able to fit in some of the larger pant sizes that I used to wear.
Yeah, it's a good question. It sounds like you're definitely obsessing over the scale. Look, there's different ways to measure progress, especially if you're trying to lose overall body fat. Your scale is not going to be the most accurate necessarily. It's going to be either body fat percentage measurements like underwater weighing or a DEXA scan or caliper measurements, but those can be inaccurate in themselves depending on how you do them. But the best thing that you're going to notice is either before and afters with the pictures, or like you said, noticing that you are losing mass because your clothes are fitting less, like they're too big for you. So the point is everyone's body is going to shift differently. And a lot of times your body will compensate. You'll retain extra water. You're going to fluctuate with your poundage. And that's not always going to be accurate. It's the easiest thing to do, though. That's why people step on the scale and always obsess over that number, because you don't have to do anything else. You just step on it. Oh, it tells me what I am. But it's not accurate to what your body fat percentage is, because you could be retaining a little bit more water. You could be building some muscle mass. It's going to fluctuate a few pounds day to day anyway, even if nothing changes. So you're majority water. You're like 60, 70% water. So it doesn't take much water to be a few pounds different here and there. And the best time to weigh yourself is in the morning after you go to the bathroom, before you drink water. So go pee, go poo, don't drink water, weigh yourself. But still, it's going to fluctuate regardless. So seeing progress needs to be measured in different ways. So I would stick with your habits, stay focused, keep going, and don't obsess over the scale. It's the easiest way to get a metric, and it's the easiest to conceive of, oh, well, this number is less than the other number, so I'm making progress. But that's not really the be-all, end-all. Plus, it's not going to be fulfilling for long. You're not going to lose weight endlessly. You're not going to lose body fat endlessly. It's going to stop. It's going to slow down. So people usually get discouraged because they just obsess over the scale. It's just a tool. It's one dimension, and it's very unfulfilling long-term. So it's not really something you should overly focus on. If you focus on the 7 pillars and focus on those good habits, Scott, you're going to lose weight. That's a side effect of changing your lifestyle habits. All right, let's take a question. Let's do a live one from Tyler. Papa Swolio, can hot compression help with muscle soreness and boost in recovery? Hot compression. I guess perhaps. It depends on if you mean actual physical benefits or you mean psychological. It feels better. I love sauna, so that's definitely beneficial, but you get much more benefit from doing something like a sauna than you do with hot compression. It can definitely improve blood flow to an area or warm it up, but depends on what body part, I would say. You might be able to just warm up in different ways. They do that before therapy. If you go to a physical therapist, or a lot of therapists used to do that, they'll put a warm pack on to warm up the area before they start working on it. So if you're doing that before exercise, it sounds like a lot of preparation. You're just better off warming up and doing some mobility and getting your heart rate up and sending blood flow to the area, doing like some sled work or some club work. But I think it depends. I'm not sure if it's going to help with muscle soreness. It just might loosen up or send more blood flow locally to that area before a training session. But if you have chronic pain and aches, I would look more to your nutrition and other types of training protocols rather than relying on that. So I think it just depends on the specific reason for what you're doing. Okay, let's see here. Heather, my focus is now on habits. When I realize a new one has stuck, that's when I celebrate. Haven't weighed myself in quite a while. Good. And of course, weighing gives you information. It just gives you narrow information. It's one aspect of information. So it's not that it's not valuable. It's just not specific. Hey, here's how much you have here on your body. If you chug a bunch of water and step on the scale, it's going to be a bigger number. If you exercise a lot and weigh yourself after, it's going to be a different number. Frank says use the mirror, but not necessarily, because your perception of what you see in the mirrors aren't accurate. Mirrors are a reflection, and how you see your reflection. And if you're in a good mood, you're going to look better than if you're in a bad mood. The mirror is going to be warped. The mirror is not an accurate representation. There's lighting. Of course, that's why people like gym mirrors. So I know what Franklin's saying. In other words, how you look, but I would take a picture in the same lighting, same outfit, same distance. It's very hard to do that accurately. So that's why if you're putting your camera on a tripod or something, make sure it's in the same place, the same time of day, so you get the same lighting, mark the floor or whatever. That way you can take the most accurate picture, because if you take one that's close up and then the next picture you take further away, you're going to look smaller because of the distance. So you can see how the little nuances of it, or if you're wearing different clothes, well, these pants sit a little bit higher, or these shorts, or this underwear. So it's not accurate. You want to wear the exact same thing and keep these things for yourself. You want it to be as revealing as possible. So you don't have to, you could do it naked if you want, but just keep the pictures to yourself. I would just wear a bikini or bra and underwear, or gym shorts, and dudes can wear boxers or underwear or short shorts because you want to see the shape of your body and do it from the front, from the side, flexing, so you see your arms, and you'll just, as long as it's consistent and the same. But you want to do front, side, and rear at least, even just standing there straight. Don't slouch, stand there nice and tall. So it can fluctuate, and it can be very subjective looking in the mirror. But the whole idea is that's much more important. How you look in terms of your physical mass, how your clothes fit, rather than just a scale. So it's a tool. It's one dimension. Doing a measurement, weighing yourself, doing circumferential measurements with a measuring tape or with clothes, then you're getting more perspective. So if your weight stays the same, but you lost an inch, you're in the right direction. So it's good. It's better when you combine these things, but you just don't want to over obsess it. Why, Michael? Have you ever worked in a gym? Oh, yeah. I'm thinking of finding a job at a gym to familiarize myself with the fitness industry. Yeah. I mean, you'll definitely familiarize yourself with it. It depends on what kind of gym. I would recommend working at a smaller gym. It depends on what you want to do. But unfortunately, if you go to like a 24-hour fitness or an LA Fitness or something, you're just going to familiarize yourself with corporate bullshit. Fucking large corporations suck to work for. You're better off, if you really want to familiarize yourself with fitness industry, I would do like a individually owned gym where the owner is there or the owner is more involved, because then you'll learn more behind the scenes, even from like management. You'll learn more a little bit about the inner workings and all the aspects, because you'll be more hands-on if you're at a smaller facility. Just my suggestion from having tons of experience working in gyms and opening gyms and things like that. If it's a smaller establishment, you'll be more involved and you'll figure out more about, the different layers and more behind the scenes, more administrative stuff. So you'll learn more about fitness, and it doesn't have to be a tiny, tiny, small little room, personal training gym, but I would do something that's owned by an individual rather than just a big corporate structure, because those are all the same. It's just a gym. It'd be a gym in a corporation, and you'll just be working the desk, and you'll have all these, and it's boring. It'll get old really quick, and you're not really learning about the fitness industry. You're learning the worst parts about the fitness industry if you're at a big chain gym, and it's just more disconnected. So a smaller gym is my recommendation. So I think it's a great idea to get familiar with it, but you'll learn more if you're at a smaller establishment. You'll be more involved with things that you'll never touch with a larger gym. A corporation's a corporation. It's just a different vertical, whether it's but there are pros and cons. So if it's something where you're doing sales, if you're at a larger gym, you'll sit in front of more people because there's more traffic at a larger gym. But I still think you're better off working for a smaller gym, because you'll be involved with more aspects of gym ownership or running a gym and things like that. Frank Papasoli, I just got my results from my x-ray on my shoulders. I have mild degeneration of my AC joints in both shoulders. Is there a dietary change or supplement I can help it? I want to avoid meds. Avoid inflammation. Practice your mobility. Mobility is very important. If you don't use it, you lose it. I would make sure you're getting raw dairy. Can be very beneficial for your bones because you're getting good bacteria. You're getting good sources of nutrients. Bone broth, great for collagen. I would focus on mobility and yoga, and in terms of improving your tendons and ligaments, doing full range mobility, strength training with light weights, shoulder awareness program, anything that's going to challenge your body to maintain the integrity of those joints is important, as long as you're medically cleared for it. A lot of doctors in medicine will say, hey, avoid X, Y, and Z, but then you're just going to get more degeneration. If you don't use it, your body is going to lose it. And depending on where your nutrition is, that might be something that you want to look at first. Okay, Mariah, I'd hate my pictures the day I took them. I'd look back a few days later, and it looked like a different picture to me. We get so caught up in our own heads. Exactly. In the moment, you're going to be either in a good mood or a bad mood. So some days you'll wake up and you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, I look great. I feel great. The next day, you feel bummed out. Are you really that different? Are you fat one day and ripped another? No, but if you get quality sleep, this is why sleep is so important. Quality sleep is going to help you feel better. It's going to put you in a better mood. You're going to perceive everything better. So a lot of it is just in your own head, how you feel, your energy levels. A lot of it is just psychological, and there really is not much of a physical difference. Now, of course, all those things matter, but it's important to address the fact that a lot of it is just in our own heads, which is why mindfulness, pillar number 6, is so important, because if you can get out of your own head or go deeper in your own head and clear out all that junk, you can perceive the world around you better. So happiness and being satisfied with things in your life is a choice, and managing that is much better than trying to change what other people are doing. You can change how you perceive these things inside. Five! Hey! Papa Swolio. That was nice.
He's on fire!
Let's go. Let's go. All right, more questions. Moscow. Let's take one from Trevor. We got a call. Trevor, you're on this line. Trevor?
Hi, Papa Swolio.
Hello.
Just got back from the gym, and I had a thought. So, for context, I'm a 20-year-old guy. I just got into lifting about a month ago, and I've been going, probably 4 or 5 days out of the week. And I wanted to ask about, diet and eating and what have you. So, the reason I got into lifting was because of my roommate, who is a rugby player, who is, probably has 100 pounds on me. And because of that, he's a lot stronger than me, right? So he's been telling me, you should just eat as much as you possibly can, because the bigger you are, the heavier you'll be able to lift. And so I was just wondering what you think about that. Like, I've just been eating like a ton of stuff, like even just garbage. And so I'm just wondering what you think about that. Like, what are the role of carbs in working out, and what is necessary to grow muscle? Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. Definitely don't. It's not the same. No. It's not just, you weigh more, you can lift more. That's not true. It's all about your muscle mass and neuromuscular activation and coordination and motor unit recruitment in terms of strength. You don't have to put on a ton of muscle for strength. It's relative strength, but just getting bigger and getting fat, it's like, no, you don't want to. You don't want to just eat random shit. I would look into our content with the elimination diet. It's very important. If you're playing rugby, yeah, mass matters because you're smashing into people, but you want to be able to move that mass. So, good for your roommate. That's great that he got you into lifting, but just stuffing your face, you're just going to get fat. You're just lifting for a month. You're not even out of like the coordination phase. So you're not even putting on a bunch of muscle. I would make sure that you are eating quality foods, the best quality that you can. It's great that he's inspiring you to lift, but do not do this dirty bulking and just, eating trash. So if you're eating crap, you're going to have a lot of issues. I don't recommend it. So significant protein, making sure that you're on a consistent lifting schedule. You're starting to practice yoga and mobility. You don't need to just put on fat. Putting on fat's not going to help you put on muscle. Okay. It's about sufficient protein and learning how to train properly and intensely without too much junk volume in order to stimulate growth. So proper form, proper intensity, and progressive overload is important for building strength and for building muscle. Thanks for the call. Feel free to call back in, but check out our content, the elimination diet, food quality. I wish I knew this when I first started lifting. I was eating a lot of shit food. I was getting plenty of protein, but I was eating a lot of garbage too. But thankfully, even though I was eating other types of food, I was always focusing on how much protein I was getting, which is essential for muscle building. But I would have done things a lot differently. I put on too much fat when I was trying to get big. Mariah, Papa Swolio, if you were starting from zero today, career-wise, what would you do? Education, jobs, etc. Well, it's hard to answer that question because I'm not starting from zero. So I can't put myself like, hey, I'm starting from. So what I would do is, like, if I literally wanted to be a couple things. So here's a couple options. Okay. So for those of you that might be kind of in between or you're trying to change careers, learn a trade. Learn a trade, something like carpentry, plumbing, HVAC, like learn a trade. Learn a trade that those things are so valuable and underrated. That's the best thing that you can do. If you want to do professional education, that's not going to put you into $200,000 worth of debt. That's going to lead to like a 6-figure career pretty soon after, your 12 months, like a year, maybe a year and a half, depending on your apprenticeship and things like that. Trade school is probably the best thing if you want to be like, hey, I want to do something, learn a skill, get a job. Especially that's not going to be as affected by AI. Otherwise, I would get into like Chat GPT and learn how to do some programming and learn how to manipulate, maybe get an entry-level job with like a startup that's working in artificial intelligence. That's probably the best thing that's going to reinforce and pad you for the changes that are coming. Because there's going to be a lot of customer service that's already been automated. There are going to be a lot of things, in terms of like being an accountant, legal stuff. All these things are going to be automated super fucking fast. So all these like legal assistant, there's a lot of like middlemen type shit, like insurance. A lot of these things are going to be completely fucking automated. And AI is going to fucking clean house with a lot of these mid-level, people that do categorizing and like legal stuff. You're looking up, case law and stuff like that, or writing legal contracts. Like all this stuff is going to be automated really fucking quick. It's going to do the job of 10 people in 3 seconds. So learning how to, but at the same time, it's not like AI is just going to take over everything. It's going to be the modules, the integration, the APIs, and the things that are created to integrate with AI. So getting involved with a company that works with that, or learning how to use that for graphic design for X, Y, and Z. So humans are still going to be utilizing and leveraging it. So learning how to leverage that is going to be great for the future. Things like 3D printing, AI, trade schools. I know that pulls from different directions, but trade school sounds like really rudimentary, but you're not going to have an AI robot come in and fix your fucking plumbing for a long time. Mama Swole is a cosmetologist, does hair, makeup, stuff like that. That's not getting AI'd anytime soon. You're not going to have a robot doing makeup and hair anytime soon. Like that's not even in the, that's nowhere close to even being a thing. So I would make sure that you are entering a field that is either going to be primarily human based or leverage something like that. I honestly think college, university, I think it's a huge waste of time, especially things you're going to law school. I think all this stuff is going to be completely changed in the near future. And it's exponential. So it's going to happen a lot quicker than people think. So even doctors, lawyers, a lot of this stuff, medicine, a lot of this stuff like is going to be medical billing, coding. AI is going to fucking take care of all this stuff. So medical billing and all these types of things are going to be completely changed over time, some faster than others, but that's what I would say. Either a trade school, because if you're doing a trade school, you might pay 15 grand, 20 grand, a little apprenticeship, boom, and you're in making money immediately. The difference is the reason why college is so worthless, because you have people that don't have jobs, don't have businesses that are teaching you how to do, you're not prepared. You're not, I know from personal experience, you're not prepared. You might learn some things. I'm glad I did, because at the time, a degree was actually looked upon as something. It got me in a couple places because it was still valuable at the time. It wasn't valuable enough to like justify the cost of the education. But at that time, 2004, 5, it was like, okay, that was like, but now it's a waste of fucking time. And it's just inflated debt and you're learning worthless shit. It's so ancient. It's nonsense. So there might be something specific where you need it, but I couldn't tell you what it is, And the only reason why you would need it is because someone, in whatever position you're going into would say, hey, you need to get this. You're not doing it because you would actually learn more in the college or university. You can learn more on YouTube. If you're passionate about something, you can learn specifically what you want and be skilled. There are certain areas of profession where you might be required, or like, of course, being a medical doctor or a surgeon or things like that. You need to do your residencies and things like that. but you're much better off just if you're in high school. I mean, talk about being brainwashed through fucking high school. It's like, get out into the real world as soon as you can. Get a job in high school or in middle school or as early as you can. Because if you are working for 4 years, you're going to be in the positive. You're making money for 4 years rather than being in debt 200 grand. And you have real world experience. So then you have 4 years of fucking experience versus someone who's $200,000 in debt with, a gender studies degree. Like, hey, what should I do? Hey, I'm out in the real world. Oh my God, scary place, because you've been insulated. And now you're angry because you're in debt and you have a worthless fucking degree that everyone else has. A dime a dozen. They just want to take your money for administrative costs and X, Y, and Z. So if you do a trade school, you might spend 15, 20, let's say 30 grand. Okay. 20 grand. It's a fraction. It's like 20% or 15% of what a 4-year degree would be. And then you're out making, I mean, how much would a plumber make? Boom, you're out, you're going to apprentice somewhere, you're going to have a job or have your own business. You're going to be making, 70, 80, 90, 100,000 easy, especially with these trade jobs, because a lot less people are going into them. But there's a lot of money to be made, and people don't think of it as, oh my God, you're a plumber. Oh my God, you do this, why, and they were carpentry. It's like, you're doing physical stuff. You don't have to deal with a lot of people. I guess you still have to deal with bullshit depending on what you're doing. But these are necessary things that you can't automate, especially right now. Albert, hey Papa, when you have holidays, do you go outside and do the podcast? Huh? Do you travel a lot? Not anymore. I'm not a big fan of traveling anymore. Do I go outside and do the podcast? You mean other places? Let's see here. Brittany Pompasulia, how many grams of protein do you recommend a day to build muscle? Is it a gram per pound of body weight or lean mass? It's really the lean mass. People just say a gram per pound of body weight because it's easier. But if you're morbidly obese, you don't need 300 grams of protein. So it's really about your lean mass. And usually when people say, okay, based on your body weight, it's because you have your lean mass plus extra. There's really not a specific exact number. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. And it depends on also the bioavailability of protein. So if you're a vegan, you're going to have protein sources that are not as bioavailable as others. So getting in all your amino acids is what's most important. So it's not just the number of the protein. It's also how available that is for your body to digest, and also the health of your digestive system, et cetera, et cetera. And it's really cumulative. It's not, hey, I didn't eat as much protein today as I did yesterday, I'm not going to gain any muscle. But the more consistent your body has the tools and the resources to be able to build and rebuild, if you're progressively overloading and training hard enough, consistently enough, then you'll be able to adapt. So that's a good ballpark. A gram per 0.8 grams per pound of body weight can account for maybe the 20% or so of like water weight and body fat, and take out the skeletal and the muscle tissue. So anywhere around there. Don, construction trades are a huge deal. 40% of journey level tradesmen will be retired in the next 10 years. Thanks for sharing. Anyone else that has education or trade school or things experience, drop in the comments. These are just my thoughts. Someone asked me a question, so I answered. And yeah, I think Nancy was saying that the other question meant when I'm doing the podcast, if I'm on vacation, but we'll do a live call. If I'm on vacation or we're traveling, we'll do a live call. And we're changing a little bit this coming month how we're doing some of the things. We're going to be having more public live streams. So we have a calendar for members. They can see the upcoming events. But I think we'll still have the roundtable next week. But then we're going to be pivoting and doing some more of the live podcasts and changing stuff as we always do, mixing things up. Nunu Ham, Papa Swolio, why do you rave about kettlebells? Because they're awesome. Are they the same as dumbbells, just shaped different? Trying to understand. Thanks. They're not the same as dumbbells. Yes and no. So they're not the same as dumbbells, but they are shaped different. So weights are weights. There's bands, there's chains, there's kettlebells, there's sandbags, there's steel clubs, there's maces, there's different shaped dumbbells, right? There's different types of dumbbells. There's the hex ones, there's shorter ones. There's different shapes and different things. All it is different types of resistance and overload. Some things are more evenly balanced like dumbbells. Some things are oddly shaped. So it really depends on how you are overloading your muscles. Your body doesn't know what you're lifting. So your body doesn't know that you're doing bands. Your body doesn't know that you're doing, psychologically, I'm holding a band. Your body just knows where the resistance is, and your body's just reacting to the resistance during the strength, like profile and arc and the movement. So if you do certain exercises, for example, if you're doing a bicep curl, let's just take that because everyone knows how to do a bicep curl. Your curling is going to be heavier at the bottom, lighter in the middle because you're stronger in the middle portion of the movement, and you're weaker at the top. When it comes to a band, of course, and the arc of the dumbbell is going to be less resistance, a little bit less resistance at the bottom because you're moving it forward a little bit. Right here in the middle, you're strongest, but it's also the most resistance because it's most directly against gravity. But as you're curling up this way, let's say you're curling like this, here is more, you're not working as much against gravity. So you're weaker at the top, but it's also easier to move the weight here because there's not as much activation because you're kind of moving it more horizontally. Same thing with a chest press. If you're coming up with the dumbbells, they go squeeze at the top and you're pushing together at the top. There's nothing here, right? There's nothing here. So if you're pushing up and then coming back down, like going together is not doing much unless you have bands or a machine that is angled to push together, then there's more resistance. Otherwise, you're just kind of holding weights at the top, moving them side to side. It's not against gravity. So if you have a band at the top, the band is stretched the most. So at the top, the strength profile, the more you stretch the band, the more the resistance is. So it puts different levels of resistance at different points of the muscle contraction versus the dumbbell. Does that make sense? So kettlebells are different. It's going to be offset differently. You could do similar exercise. You could do curls with kettlebells. It's going to be a little bit more of a lever because the weights are hanging off the back rather than your hand. So the lever or the lever arm, it's all biomechanics. The lever arm is going to be different. So you're going to find kettlebell curls more challenging than you will for dumbbells, not to mention the handles of the kettlebells might be more, but it's hanging off the back of your hand. So there's still more tension at the top because the kettlebell's pulling down rather than the weight being here, more rested. So it's just different ways to add stress. You could build muscle with all of them. It just depends on how you're lifting and how you're doing and what exercise you're selecting. So yes, they're just different shapes, but of course, kettlebells, you can do different exercises or in a different way. You could do you could do Turkish get-ups with a dumbbell, but it's just easier and more efficient with a kettlebell, in my opinion, because of the way the kettlebell is shaped. But you can do it with a dumbbell. You could do a snatch with a dumbbell. You can do a clean with a dumbbell. It's just not as clean. It's not as easy to execute as it is with a kettlebell. So doing kettlebell swings, for lack of a better term, I know obviously it's a kettlebell swing, but doing a swing is easier with a kettlebell than it is with a dumbbell. It's just going to be more effective because of the grip position and stuff like that. Shane, I have finished the 90-day dash and have been repeating week 12 until I transition to another program. Any recommendations on what program to do next that will fit the same daily time constraints? Either one, Swole Season or Scorched Earth, depends on what you're trying to accomplish. That's more important than the time constraints. You can modify anything to fit that. It really depends on what you're looking to accomplish. You looking to bulk more and do more? Are you looking to do more? Did you like more, or did you find a little bit more of a adhesion? Did you like the Ignite portion of the 90-day dash more? Or did you like the Swole portion? Which one did you connect with more? Michelle, I've had my cosmetology license for 15 years at 33 years old. Still the best education I ever took on. There you go. Right on. Let's see. Matt the Great, trades aren't all they are cracked up to be. I have 2 degrees in the trades, but companies want experience in the trade over a degree. Well, every company wants experience. If you have applicants, a lot of companies want people with more experience. If you have 2 applicants, one has 5 years experience and one is brand new, a lot of companies will take the one with 5 years experience. This is the problem with inflation. This is a problem with all of these, changes to our society that requires companies to pay more. If you have to pay more, if they're raising minimum wage, if they're increasing, there's a lot of inflation, there's a lot of issues with bringing on more people, and it's more challenging for companies to hire, and you have to pay your people more, you're going to hire someone with more experience. You're not going to take an entry level and pay them more when you can get someone with more experience. So it's like that with anything. But that's why when you do the trades and you apprentice or you work and you assist X, Y, and Z, you'll get that experience. So it's a classic thing when you don't have a job. You want to get a job, but the job requires you to get experience. Well, how do you get experience if you don't have a job? You have to get your foot in the door. That's why you can hustle. You'd be like, hey, I'll sweep the fucking floor. I'll work. If there's something that you want to do, work for free. Like, give them your time, invest your time. You're in high school or you're in volunteer your time, get your foot in the door. It's about who you know. And then likely you can get promoted or get into a higher role. So it really depends. Trades are great. I haven't heard things that are bad about the trades. It depends on probably where you are and what you're looking for. But yeah, I mean, experience does make a big difference. If you have someone who didn't go to school or this, but they're great with what they do and they've been doing it for 20 years, they obviously know what they're doing. So sometimes you need to have certain certifications and things like that for insurance purposes. So you have to have X, Y, and Z. But it depends. I mean, there's a lot of different trades too. So electrician, I mean, these things are all very, very necessary. And especially if you do stuff like commercial level stuff where you're doing contracting and you're outfitting buildings with new electric or fire alarms and stuff like that. And you're bringing stuff up to code. And there's a lot of shit that most people they take for granted. They don't know that exists. You know, they're doing new construction all the time. They need to insulate. They need to, blah, blah, blah. They need to make sure everything checks out from electrical to plumbing to all these different things. It depends on what you want to do, right? If you want to have a solid career or you want to, so that makes a difference, but that can help you decide. I'll tell you what, doing a trade will get you making money. Doing a trade will get you making more money in most cases with less debt. So this is the difference. Do you want to be in college for 4 fucking years and be in debt $200,000+, or you go into a trade for 12 months or 18 months, 20 grand, 25 grand. I'm just throwing out a number. I don't know what they actually are. It depends on what you're doing and X, Y, and Z. And you might even have a job. You could pay that off in the meantime. Like, you're going to be in the positive a lot quicker. So it's not so much, fam, if you want to make more money, there's 2 different things to do. You make more money, you get paid more, or you stop spending so much. So if you're not in debt, if you're 16,000 or 20,000 in debt rather than 250, you don't have to be making 7 figures. You're already going to be making more. Just stop spending so much. Stop buying all the latest shit. Stop spending so much and you'll be shocked at how much you have. You can make more money or spend less, and both. Fitness Chick 4. Hey, I remember watching you on Periscope. Hey, Periscope fam. Holy shit. When's the last time Periscope was a thing? That's been gone for a while, right? That was like 2016, 2017. Welcome back. Lady Hawk, oh my God, I was just saying I wish I hadn't started my adult life $75K in debt from college. Isn't it crazy? You're finally getting out in the world. And then you realize you don't have the tools to survive in the world. You're not taught anything that you really need to know in most cases. And you're in debt. Yeah, you're a slave. They get you as a slave. Now you're a slave. Now you're an indentured servant and you have to pay back these fucking loans forever with insane interest rates. They have you forever. You can't even declare bankruptcy on you. So they literally have a chain around your neck. It's slavery. It's modern slavery, or slavery in this country. John, APS, my buddy was raised vegan, child abuse, and wants to eat meat to get yoked and healthy, but he gets physically ill every time he tries to eat it. Any suggestions for him? Maybe he has alpha-gal syndrome, or he's starting off too heavy. I don't know what he's doing. What is he trying to eat? He might be overdoing it. If he's raised vegan, I don't know how old he is, but if he's literally been vegan his whole fucking life, his macrobiome, like that's a big shift. So you might have to start with something like maybe some raw kefir in small, like repopulate his gut. Like he might need to start really, really light bone broth in small quantities. I'm not sure, but you need to shift that slowly, but good for him. USA will need more obesity trained medical professionals. I don't think we need more. I don't think we need more of that. That's the problem. Do we need more obesity trained professionals? I think it's like homelessness. The more people you have obesity experts, there's really no incentive to stop obesity because then you're out of a job. So I don't know if that makes, like, we have more, right? Like in California, they have all these people making six figures to solve homelessness. They're working with homelessness. They have no incentive they don't want to be out of a job. Where's the incentive? What's the incentive structure? We already have obesity trained medical professionals. We have all these medications that are keeping people fat and sick. There's no incentive to get people healthy in this country. Just accept it. There's no incentive. No one's trying to get anyone healthier. We know that from COVID and the lockdowns. No one said anything about vitamin D and just exercising and not eating garbage. They're actually promoting people to get garbage. Hey, get a big gulp. Get a free big gulp. Get a free cheeseburger and vegetable oil saturated French fries when you get an experimental drug injected into your fucking arm. Oh, by the way, if you don't get this drug, you can't go to work, you can't do anything, and you're going to be demonized and spit on as an untouchable. So we're going to end your life if you don't get this drug. But hey, if you get it, you might have heart disease or reproduction issues. You might drop dead. But hey, and it doesn't stop the actual spread and complications, but we'll give you some cheeseburgers and fries. How's that sound? How does that sound? Dawn, agreed. My husband started out as a laborer for a general contractor. Now he's a project manager and he's constantly getting job offers for other general contractors. That's great. Lady Hog, good money in HVAC, actually. Yeah, I mean, imagine doing HVAC in Florida. Literally, Florida wouldn't exist without air conditioning. No one lived here until the guy created air conditioning. There's a fucking statue for him in Miami. There's a statue to the guy. Like, this place would be absolutely... You can't live here. You could not live here without AC. You could, but not much will get done. Nasty. Try being in a high rise without AC. Good luck with that. So anyway, and it's always breaking. It's always breaking. It's getting hotter down here. So, you're always working. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff with motors and things that are hard to come by. I remember our AC or compressor had to be replaced, and it took a couple days to find one. It was the last one in the state, quote unquote, at this one time because everything's backed up. Yeah, I get you, bro. I got you. Matt says getting into the trades early would be best. That's what we're talking about. College, right? Doing it early. I have a family now and can't necessarily take a pay cut as an apprentice. The VA paid for both of my degrees, $30K, so I'm not in debt the least. Good for you. Good for you. Thank you for your service. And yeah, I get it. So again, but that's what I'm talking about. High school, instead of going to college, learn a skill. Kids are graduating college without fucking skills. No skills. You're 200. Yes. My college was like $150K, and this is back in 2005. I had some grants and stuff like that, so I wasn't out of pocket that, but fuck. I'm glad. I mean, I went. I'm not going to say, I'm glad I went. It is what it is. But what I do, and I'm going to tell you what I did. Luckily, I had a degree in exercise science. So it was in something. I got my CSCS. I started doing training at Bally's as my first job. Did I need to go to school for 4 fucking years to start doing personal training at Bally's? Because I wasn't getting hired anywhere because I didn't have experience. So it's like, why the fuck did I do 4 years of school to be a personal trainer at Bally's? That's a great question. It definitely helped me get access to other things and get me a strength coaching certification that you had to have a 4-year degree, but it's all a circle jerk. It's nonsense. So I wouldn't recommend it. It's hard to make an argument for college and university today. Very hard. James, but the Democrats are going to forgive your student loans, right? Yeah. Okay.
Matt Damon.
Which would be a terrible idea. Now, you borrowed money, you pay it back, because guess what that means? That means your dollar is going to be, you think eggs are expensive now? Yeah, just forgive all student loans, because money is just numbers, right? You just hit delete. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll just make money is just a thing that we create. Yeah. Doesn't mean anything. We'll just make more of it. We'll just print more. Oh, we're great. Oh, we're great. Maggie, Papasolio, sup? Sup, Bish? I don't know how it is in the United States, but here in Scandinavia, our high school is max 3 years, but you could do 2 years of high school and afterwards work 2 years and get the certificate of apprenticeship. Nice. Well, it's not like that here. There are some high schools that have like a tech, or it's like a tech high school. There are certain high schools that will have something like that, where it's not a public school, but it's a school that kind of integrates with some sort of, apprenticeship. I think there are things like that, but it's not like across the board or anything. Again, this is the problem when you have the government really running most of the education. It's just to get more slaves. It's just to get you into debt and suckling at the government teat for the rest of your life. And we're seeing how that's panning out, right? Okay, we got to move on, but let's take a call from Barreco. Barreco, you're on the Daily Swole, Barreco.
Hey, Papasolio.
Hey.
Alvaro here. I just wanted to thank you for your motivation and support. I'm an orchestra musician. 1 year ago, I had a quite ugly injury. I've had some very stressed nerves. Spine, shoulder, wrist, elbow. Yeah, just bad. I'm now, since August, going every day to the gym, non-stop. And I'm pain-free. Today I have my last concert of a 14-week period of non-stop playing, which I didn't know if would actually see the end of it. And I did. I'm finishing today, a 14-week period, pain-free, and I wanted to thank you because your motivation and support meant a lot. Thank you, Papasolio.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. I love it. I love it. Even orchestra musicians making sick fucking games. Now, being in the orchestra, I know sometimes you're not front and center. You might be in a pit or something like that. But I would recommend, if you have like a bow tie, I would maybe shorten up the sleeves a little bit, flex the guns, right? If you're playing the flute, just think of that. Like, just boom, boom, just fucking flute, just flexing the whole time. Like, veins popping out. Fantastic. Or you're a conductor and just be like jacked. Imagine just a fucking yoked conductor just flexing. That'd be awesome. Good for you. I'm glad you called. Thank you so much, Alvaro. Appreciate it. Fucking awesome. Let's see here. Lizzo plays the flute. Lizzo plays the flute. Oh my God. Well, Alvaro, maybe you'll be as healthy as Lizzo.
You can be
someday.
fat and be healthy.
Probably not.
I'm sorry, Lizzo, healthier than I will ever be.
No, probably not. Probably not. Nunuham, Papa Soy, what type of magnesium do you recommend? You said before, I believe. I have many a time, but it's totally fine. I personally would recommend getting started with a magnesium glycinate or a magnesium malate. I prefer magnesium glycinate before bed. Most of my electrolytes have glycinate, but magnesium malate is an option too. And you can have a combination of those and see what works best for you. But whenever you're taking some kind of supplement like that, just start off lighter, do like 250 milligrams, see how you feel. And then, up it a little bit and then see how you go with that. You can also, if you have like restless leg or eye twitching, just like low in magnesium, you can also get a magnesium oil spray it directly on the muscle or on the bottoms of your feet. Might get a little itchy because the magnesium absorbs if you're low in magnesium, but that's a good way to avoid the digestive system if you want to get magnesium oil spray. A couple options. Conducting with a club or a mace would be sick. Yeah, there you go. There you go. You see what's happening here? You see what's happening? Let's go balls deep. I like it. Right.
That's deep.
It's so deep. It's so deep. It's so deep. So fucking deep. All right, let's get into a couple stories. We're going to crush through these because I forgot what time it was. But, when you're making sick fucking games with the fam, sometimes you lose track of time. Doctors sound alarm over mysterious outbreak of brain infections in Nevada kids. And they believe it's linked to COVID lockdowns. Now,
Matt Damon.
I'm going to put a pause right here. COVID lockdowns is why we have a mysterious outbreak of brain infections. Just going to put it out there. I don't know if why would a lockdown have to do with a brain infection? Could it be something that was given to millions and millions of children around the country? Could it be something that was introduced via a needle to children around the world, especially in places like Nevada, blue state? Maybe it could be a complication with something else. I don't know. Could it be? Could it be that it's... Could it be? Could it be... if only we could point to something like an experimental drug that was, I don't know, something that manipulates RNA or something like that. Maybe. I'm literally just putting that out there. I don't know for sure, but let's read this. Health officials are sounding the alarm over a spike in rare and serious brain abscesses in children around Las Vegas. Experts at the CDC are investigating the spat of cases, while doctors across America say they're also seeing a rise in cases. The number of brain abscesses in minors tripled in Nevada last year, shooting up from, get it? Shooting up. Yeah, a little Freudian slip there, Daily Mail. Shooting up from an average of 4 or 5 a year to 18. So a threefold. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, but a 3x increase all of a sudden is like 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. I say 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Tons of vaccines. Whoop, 18. Yeah. Sure, it's just a coincidence. Dr. Taryn Bragg, a pediatric neurosurgeon and associate professor at University of Utah who treats cases, said she's never seen anything like it in her 20 years experience. Physicians are not sure what has caused the rise, but said it could be due to weakened immunity due to infections due to COVID measures such as lockdowns. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Physicians are not sure what has caused the rise, but said it could be due to weakened immunity to infections due to COVID measures such as lockdowns. That's what's caused a 3x increase in neurological issues in children around the country, and specifically in Nevada right now. Lockdowns did it. Lockdowns did it. It was the lockdowns. Dr. Bragg was able to spot the pattern and notify local public health officials because she's the only pediatric neurosurgeon for Nevada. There's one in the whole state. Shish. After March 2022, after March of 2022. So we know the jabs were started in, was it 2020, late 2020, early 2021? She said that after March 2022, so AKA after a year of forcing kids and people to be vaccinated, She said there was a huge increase in brain abscesses, which is unusual, particularly as the similarities in terms of the presentation of cases was striking. In nearly every case, the child would develop a typical childhood ailment like an earache or sinus infection with a headache and fever. Dr. Bragg said that within days, it would become obvious something more severe was at play. It arose that physicians across the U.S. are observing more and more brain abscesses in younger populations. We know the vaccines and the spike proteins crosses the blood-brain barrier, has issues with heart, ovaries. It targets all the most important areas of the fucking body. A lot of people don't have issues, which is great, but of course we're seeing a lot of mental health is decreasing. Like there's a lot of other things that we're not gonna be able to quantify for decades. Dr. Sunil Sood, a pediatric infectious disease specialist at Northwell Health in New York, guessed his facility was seeing at least double the usual amount of brain abscesses. On their own, brain abscesses are not reportable, which means physicians do not have to tell public health officials when they occur. Brain abscesses are pus-filled swellings in the brain. They normally happen when bacteria or fungi get into the brain tissue after an infection or a serious head injury. Well, pus-filled swellings on the rise. Right here, it says Dr. Jessica Penny, the CDC Epidemic Intelligence Service officer, blah, 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 says that between 2015 and 2020, pediatric brain abscess cases remained consistent at a consistent 4 per year. In 2020, the number dropped, likely due to COVID measures such as lockdown, school closures, masking, and social distancing. I mean, 4 a year, that's not a lot, but it's, the following year, the number of brain abscesses went back to normal. Okay. 2021, back to normal. So, of course, people are going out and doing more things, going to the doctor again. A lot of people were just like home, maybe not reporting things or not noticing things, or, how many, you said brain abscesses, like a lot of things were attributed to COVID automatically. So who the fuck knows what the reporting is? Could be super sketchy. And then shot up in 2022. So shot up. Okay. So who knows? But it's an interesting correlation. Okay. Let's see. One more thing. But you know what the thing is? The problem is, we'll get into the next story in a second. How can you not mention it? I'm not saying, look, I'm just pointing out what should be fucking obvious. Okay, they're talking about the lockdowns because kids were kept inside. Yo, you implemented an experimental vaccine on a massive, unprecedented scale, and you're seeing a lot of things shoot up dramatically. But it's not that because it's safe and effective. It's not safe, because safe would mean that there's no issues, but you can't say something's safe, especially with a new drug, especially without years and years of data. And when we know now it's not safe for many, 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 many people, and it's not effective. So lies, deception, just lies. So let's get into that. And to not mention it is just fucking criminal. Yeah, I'm sure it's the lockdowns. It couldn't just be this injection we gave everyone. America's teen mental health crisis laid bare 1 in 10. This is fucking crazy. 1 in 10 high school students have attempted suicide. 30% are depressed, quote, most of the time, and a third are abusing drugs. Well, you know how I feel about depression. Most of it is lifestyle habits. So I'd be depressed if I was stuck in a fucking box, forced to mask up, stay at home during my most social period of my fucking life and formative years. I would be depressed if I had to sit in these boring fucking schools. And we didn't have the same kind of internet access and phone. Like, there's so much more stimulating stuff on your phone and easy access to information. School's just archaic and boring. So I don't doubt this, but it's another component of getting your kids outside, feeding them good food. How many kids don't get exercise? Most. How many kids don't eat real food? Most. How many kids are constantly in front of their phones or screens? Most. Like, these are all converging to form a huge, a much more important, much more catastrophic epidemic than the flu, for example. Let's see here. And of course, as we know, the reaction to COVID was far more catastrophic than COVID itself. Most people have no problems, which is what happens with normal, healthy populations. People that are sick, that are vulnerable, are going to succumb to most issues, including flus and fevers and preventable disease. So it's just another argument to take care of yourself, and you'll be more resilient for all things. Let's see. The CDC found that 30% of high schoolers also said they had poor mental health most of the time. For girls, the figure was even higher, 40%. And we know that social media, in particular, negatively affects girls far more than boys. 10%. 10%. Fucking crazy. Look at females. Look at 2017. All right. So 2017, we had a drop from 2015 to 2017. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why that would drop. Anyone have any idea why that could drop? But then, of course, you had the rise of Snapchat and shit like that. It was really 2017. I know Snapchat was around before then, but when things really kind of kicked off, I started doing all this stuff, Swolenormous and podcasts and stuff, in 2016. So Snapchat Musically was around in 2016, but that kind of really picked up and changed to TikTok in like 2018, 2019. So you can see the increase in 2018, 2019 goes back up to about the levels as in 2015. And then in 2021, kind of flatline, right? Flatline for men, but girls much more susceptible to this kind of stuff than boys. This is in terms of attempting suicide. And of course, attempting suicide is a component of low mood, depression, and all those other things. So the more people that are claiming or having symptoms and things like that of, quote unquote depression are going to be more likely, that number increases, the number of suicide attempts going to increase by proxy, I would think. American high schoolers with, quote, poor mental health. Yeah. I mean, shit, 40%, nearly 1/3 of all U.S. high schoolers report suffering. This is so fucking bad. It's crazy. 40% of females have poor mental health. This is because of all this comparison. You can't escape bullying. You can't escape your social pressures. You can't go home and be like, okay, I'm home. I'm free. You're constantly being compared. Every time you see someone on social media, you're on TikTok, you're just comparing yourself by proxy. You're looking at someone else do something. Oh, they have this. Oh, they're pretty. They have bigger boobs. They have a nicer butt. They're more lean. They have bigger muscles. They have more money. They have blah, blah, blah. The biggest issue, I think, when it comes to social media, imagine because what do you want when you're in high school? You want acceptance. You want love and attention. We talked about this yesterday, right? You have your cliques. You want to be accepted by your peers. You don't want to be an outcast. Being an outsider in high school or middle school is the worst. Okay. So you combine this with, you used to have the popular kids, right? Yeah, you still have popular kids, but guess what you have now? Sometimes in middle school or high school, you'll have someone in your school that has 2 million followers on TikTok. It's so different than being the jock. You're the football player, or you're this. You have 5 million followers on TikTok or Instagram, and you have brand deals and all this shit, and you're in fucking high school. So now it's not just being the cool kid. It's everyone's sucking your dick. It's a different type of popularity. You're internationally popular, or you're a little mini celebrity. Of course, you can have someone who's in the movies, right? Or you're in a TV show but it's not, that was very rare. And that was usually only in certain areas. Now you have so many kids that have big followings on Twitter or TikTok or Instagram or all three or YouTube. And just think of the interactions. That's not authentic interaction. If you're if you have other kids, if you're that popular kid, or you're that kid that has a a bump in Instagram or TikTok account, are your friends genuine? Not that you know this at the time, not that you can really sift through the personalities but who likes you for who you are? It used to be, and this is why people, rappers and things like that, when you make it big, you have your crew from people that you grew up with because they were with you during the struggle. They were with you when you had nothing. You know that they're with you and they're on your side and they got your back because they always have. Once you're popular or famous or wealthy, you have to really, that's why a lot of wealthy people or celebrities and stuff surround themselves with other people that are at that level, because you can't really trust people. Everyone wants something from you. It's not authentic. And imagine being young and maybe not knowing that, but you don't have deep relationships because a lot of the people that you're with, they like you because they're tagging you in their TikTok videos and you're making them after school in high school and you're getting followers from them too. So of course you're nice to them and you like them and you're friends with them, but it's really because you're kind of, the kids are getting something from you and kids don't realize that. And you don't have that foundation. You don't have that growth from when you're younger, when you don't have anything, right? You don't have those people that you could bring with you in life that knew you before. It starts that way. Just saying, it's a different thing. It's a different thing when you have kids in high school it's different than when you have kids in high school that are also on social media, that have big followings, that can be getting, influencer payouts and running ads and things like that. You don't have those deep you don't have those deep relationships. Started from the bottom, now we're here. It's like, it's all surface level. And anytime you see something on the internet, you're looking at someone's picture, you're looking at someone's video. And I scroll through and I see people that are more muscular than me, that are leaner than me, that have more money than me. Like, I do it too. Everyone does. Anytime you're looking at someone, remember, you're only seeing what they want you to see. You're only seeing them in their fancy car or on a vacation or skydiving. Like, people aren't posting videos, I'm so sad today, I feel like I look like shit. No one wants to put that out there. Some people do. We can talk about it, but it's not like, oh, really captivating content. It's like, ugh, no. Like, it's a downer. So everyone's posting stuff when you feel good, when you're in a good mood and you're recording a video. But that's not people's lives. Everyone gets sad. Everyone gets upset. Everyone has responsibilities and regrets and family issues, and everyone's got problems. Everyone's got fucking problems. So it's really important to segment. Like, it's really hard. You really have to avoid looking at shit. And this is why I'm aware of things that goes on. I listen to podcasts. I'm aware of the news and things like that. But this is why I don't know what's going on in terms of YouTube. I'm not into any kind of drama. I don't care what other people are doing. When I go on TikTok, I post something. I cover the screen, tap my profile so I can post a video. I close out. I catch myself scrolling now and again, but it's so bad. It's so bad. That's why I don't follow anyone. That's why my account, it's not my ego. It's that when I open the app, I don't want to see, right? You follow some people and you just get shown X, Y, and Z. I don't care what people are doing. I don't care what people are doing. I don't follow anyone on TikTok. I don't follow people on Twitter. I don't follow anyone on Instagrams, because when I open the app, I don't care what people, even my friends, like, I don't care what they're doing day to day. I'll text them or I'll call them. Like, I don't need to know, so-and-so ate pasta. It's not necessary. A lot of it's just a circle jerk to get more attention. But anyway, when you're in high school, when you're in middle school, kids want love and attention. They want to be accepted, and they'll do whatever it takes. This is why they'll paint their hair. They'll get a septum piercing. They'll do whatever. They'll say whatever the teacher says. They'll say whatever they think they need to say in order to get attention and acceptance. So if all these outcasts are saying, hey, I'm trans, or hey, I'm this, guess what? It's a social contagion. That's literally what it is. And this is why it affects girls more than boys. Girls are more sensitive emotionally to these things. 40% of girls say, okay, they have poor mental health or depression. Okay, how do you get out of that? You say what you need to say and do what you need to do in order to get love and acceptance from people around you. And you have a lot of people that are lost, that are hitting puberty, that don't understand the changes to their body. They're eating garbage food. They're not getting outside. They're getting taught and brainwashed with dumb stuff. and you realize you have a way out. You change your hashtag, you color your hair, you identify as whatever, and you get attention. You get instant love, and you don't have to put in any effort. You snap your fingers and boom, you're accepted, you're lauded, you are so brave. And it's frightening because you're making it so easy to achieve what kids are so desperate to achieve. And you're making it very easy. They don't have to do much to get it. And the fact that you have psychologists and media and government and teachers that are feeding into this, it's child abuse, and it's sick and disgusting. Anyway, kids are always going to want to do what's different. People in general, but kids are just vulnerable people. And unfortunately, we're raising vulnerable kids into being vulnerable adults, but that's the point. Anyone who's vulnerable can be susceptible to a cult mentality. Anyway, well, there's that. So, okay.
Emotional damage.
How deep can we go on the podcast? The answer is yes. How deep on the Daily Swole? Yes. We're kind of out of time, so I think we're good for the day. We have some other videos. We might have to wait till Tuesday. Yeah, I think we're good. I'm going to stop while we're ahead. All right, let's get into the Swole card. We'll save these videos for next week. Let's see here. Hashtag Swole Sub for a chance to win today's Swole card. Let's give it away. And tomorrow we will have I don't have the image, but anyway, we have Ask Papa Swolio Live. So we're just taking tons of questions tomorrow. Head on over to askpapaswolio.com and submit a question. You can call in and we'll get to all the questions tomorrow. We'll get to all the questions tomorrow. So make sure you're there for that. askpapaswolio.com. Call in and we'll get to your question tomorrow. But for right now, we have a Swole card to give away. Falcon? Let's give away a fucking Swole Slut card. Swole Slut, where's my Swole Slut? Where? My Swole Slut. Scroll, miss, scroll, miss, scroll. Oh, I think it's coming. Scroll, miss, scroll. Who didn't put a Swole Slut recently? Scroll, miss. We're doing it again. We'll do it again. What the fuck? I'm scrolling up, but I'm not seeing it. Ooh, just missed. I split the uprights there. No? All right, we're going back down to recent. We're going to land on it. We're going to get one. We got a winner. Oh, geez. Now it's not broken. Now it's not the Dominion machines. Pedro El Superman.
Congratulations!
Oh, it's rigged. Is it rigged? You fucking won. Congratulations. Now you can stop crying like a little beesh. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, stop crying like a little beesh. Pedro, congratulations. Oh, see, Matthew fucking rigged. See? You're never happy. See, I do what I can. And then it happens, and now it's rigged. So it's rigged if you don't win. Oh, that explains everything. It's only rigged if you don't win. I get it. What is going on here? What's going on there? What is this? What's happening? One-handed. Look at your nippies. Look at the nippies. Here we go.
First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
My name's Forrest Gump.
Wow.
How shall we fuck off, oh lord?
Because, Dickens, your father was a woman.
Dodson, we've got Dodson here.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn.
I am the danger.
You made me happy.
We got it.
House is a fucking prison on planet bullshit. In the galaxy of this sucks camel dicks.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball.
She's so cute. No hands.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
All right, very nice. Time to crank it up. What a show. What a show. What a show. We got the little church. Oh, you're so cute. Want to say hi to everyone? How can I do the show when this cuteness? Look at that. How can I do the show when this is looking at me? It's so hard. Why do you have to be so cute? What's on your eyes? Why do you have to be so cute? It's hard for me to do this show when you're so cute. It's not fair. It's not fair. You're so snuggly today. You're so cute. Look at your little bellies. You have to make a pee-pee? You gotta make pee-pees? Oh my goodness. We should just have, I could just leave her. I could just do the audio. I could just do the audio. And just leave the camera on her. I don't think anyone wants to see me. If you have the option. If you have the option, would you want this? Huh? Huh? Come on. Come on. Or that. Yeah. I get it. I get it, fam. I don't blame you. Tomorrow, 2550. Tomorrow, 2550.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
We'll have Ask Papa Swole live, so it'll go down tomorrow morning. So thank you for being here. Lots of questions tomorrow. We'll see you then. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose, your boy Papa Swole. Oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they can't left and they so mad, it's like...
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making